Stu, I know it was quite a while ago that you guys played the Canucks, but I mean, is there some value in beating this team just given the results from earlier on this year?
Absolutely. I think a little bit of that, and also we know that tonight how they're going to show up and that they're obviously ahead of us in the standings, and it's definitely going to be a playoff game mentality for both sides. So it's another day, another game where we get to prepare ourselves for what's coming up. So I think we definitely want a little bit of revenge for they kind of smoked us in the previous 3 games, I believe. So we'll see where we are at now.
In what ways can you feel this group kind of stealing itself, rounding into form for the playoffs?
Yeah, I think we've had a lot of opportunities to prepare ourselves for what's coming up. We've had some games where, we haven't shown up to our best capabilities, and I think that's actually been really good for the group in order to kind of see, the faults that we did bring into those games, just to kind of see where we are and fix those problems now sooner than later. And at the same time being able to win games, especially against Vegas, especially against LA, tight games where it's 2-1, 3-1, and being able to win games like that, overtime wins. We've put ourselves in situations where it's given us a lot of preparation coming up.
Stuart, a little bit of a broad question here, but what's it taken from the Edmonton Oilers to get to this point, 4 points back of the Vancouver Canucks, as opposed to the 8-1 loss on opening night?
Yeah, I mean, it's we dug ourselves a pretty big hole, and being able to get out of that and being where we are now, I don't think a lot of people would have thought that could have happened. So it just shows you what kind of group we've had, the perseverance that we bring, the hard work, and just the brotherhood that we had. Davo said it after one of our wins. We really proved to ourselves that when we stick together as a brotherhood and we come together as a group, we can honestly get through anything. And I 100% believe that, and I think we've proved that this year.
We know that Calvin has been providing quality starts over the last little bit. How much has that helped you, either mentally or physically, down the stretch here?
Oh, it's been great. Obviously, it's been able to get me off a little bit of the mental load, a little bit of the physical load too, even though that practices are tough. But it's been wonderful. I mean, it's amazing to see how well Calvin's been doing. I'm his number one fan. I'm a cheerleader on the bench when he's in net. He's been incredible. I just think the best of the guy. So it's lovely to see what he's been doing this year.
Stu, what's the biggest thing in your mind that's changed since those 3 Vancouver games from a team perspective and from your own perspective, your own play?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think for a team, just really the proof of being able to get through the adversities that we've been able to get through. So it gives a group a lot of confidence when you go through something like that and you're able to bounce back and be number 2 and, to be honest, fight for the number 1 spot here. So it gives you a lot of confidence as a group. And yeah, it just kind of shows you what kind of people are in that room. Shows you what our capabilities of, and I really believe that the only team that can beat us is ourselves, and I think we've proven that. And then obviously, personally, I think just honestly pretty well the same thing. Like, you got to go through those struggles to see what you're made out of. And you just got to keep. I think Homa said it in the Masters or something when he was doing bad. You just grab a shovel and keep digging, and I think that's what we did as a group and myself individually as well.
There's a chance Thatcher Demko makes his return for the Canucks tonight. Is there any extra motivation going up against one of the top goaltenders in the league?
Always, yeah. Obviously, no matter who you play, I got the thing that I got to stop the puck and got the same job. But obviously, when you go up against somebody like Demmer and, I mean, all the incredible goalies that I've been able to face in my career, it's something that you want to. I mean, we're all competitors. We want to beat each other. We want to play hard. We want to make it a close game, especially for a goalie. I think the best win for me would be a 1-0 win. But yeah, it's always nice playing against somebody like that. Obviously, Demmer, he had to go through a little bit of an injury there, and you always feel bad for a guy when you got to grind that out. And the tenacity that he has and the competitor that he is. He's, one of the best goalies in the NHL. So I really hope that he is able to play today. It would be great to see him back in net, especially for the team over there, and it'd be lovely to have a good battle against them.
You said something interesting about nights off. People might assume that if you don't play, that equals more rest for you. But you'll want to be a good teammate and go give the rest of the guys a good practice so the starter can sort of rest.
Yeah.
Can you just take us through how much rest the night off actually ends up being?
Yeah, I mean, a rest night off is a good rest, mentally and physically. I'm able to get obviously a little bit more treatment, get to go in the cold tub, hot tub, and just really being able to take care of myself physically. Obviously, mentally, you don't have to go through the stress of the day of preparing for a big game. So just kind of little things like that. Obviously, as a teammate and also as a goalie and a competitor, I want to get out there and practice and stop all the guys and make their lives miserable. But yeah, I think it's still good for me. Like, even though that it's a rest night, you still got to get a sweat on. You still got to get work in. You know that you got to play, sooner than later. So you got to keep on prepping yourself for that. But there definitely is a rest there.
Is it more mental or physical between the two, would you say, getting a night off?
More so. It's a great question.
Thanks.
To be honest, I think it's a lot of both, but I think more so just mentally. You got to kind of just you got to watch the game. Obviously, you got to cheer on your teammates. Just be there as a fan and. Just really enjoy the night. So, and obviously, when you do play, you have that mental, the mental work of preparing for the game pretty well the whole day. You got to go in and you got to, obviously, the job's serious, and you got to go in and you got to play a full 60 minutes. So yeah, it's definitely a mental break. But I mean, again, it's definitely physical too. It's nice to. Especially with our travel too. I was actually just telling somebody this is like with the travel and all that, you get a little bit more sleep too, and I think that's a huge key going down the stretch.
On a light note, you talked about all the practice time. Does Dustin Schwartz have one of the best shots that you've seen? 'Cause he's got a pretty powerful.
He's got a bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. He. I've always told him if we put him on the flank on the second unit on the power play, I could see him scoring 10 goals a season. He's. He snipes on us sometimes and. Twirls his stick.
Yeah,
he's got great cellies, and most of the time it's fun. And then sometimes when you're having a bad day, you get a little bit upset. But it's no, he's I really like that part from him, honestly, because that gets you more ready for games. Pre-practice, pre-games. Like even today, I just had him shooting on me, and that gets your hands ready, that gets your tracking ready. So it's I'm honestly really appreciative that he tries to score on me.
Stu, typically the backup will get the second of a back-to-back, but that's been a couple times this year now where you've got that start. I think it's matchup dependent and stuff like that. But how do you find the team kind of responds in front of you, and how much different do you find that game is for you, because typically the team is more tired?
Yeah, obviously the guys in front are a little bit more tired because obviously they battled the night before. But it shows the resiliency of the group. I think they do a fantastic job, especially on back-to-backs where we are tired and we get to show ourselves what we're made of. We got another opportunity to do that tonight, and I know that the guys are going to respond well. I know obviously we lost out of 1 point yesterday, so I really do believe that the guys always show up no matter what the case and the scenario is. So it's going to be a fun one.